Oh, that's the good intro we need to.
That's real,
Hello.
though.
Is that real, Dylan?
Yes, it is real. I got it out of my wallet. I'm not giving it to him.
Hello, people. It's the review show. As everyone knows, if you've been up under a rock, Nottingham Forest would beat our rivals Derby 2-1. Boys, everyone, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling? Come on, we'll start. You know what? We'll start. Mr. Microphone Man, where is it? Where's your microphone? Come on, get your microphone out. Come on, get your microphone.
It's here, Mr. Door. It's here. I just want to say, Derby's closing down with 0 in the bank. 0 in the bank. 0 in the bank. Derby's closing down with 0 in the bank. 0 in the bank. 0 in the bank. Going up.
That's how he's feeling. Dylan, how you feeling? How you doing, Dylan? How you doing?
I'm all right. Sorry. I'm all right, mate. I was well nervous before the game. I've sat there like, oh no, because you just have that feeling of a potential banana skin.
And last but not least, Steve, how you feeling, Matt?
It's a good week, mate. It's a good place, isn't it, to be here today. I think when we went 1-up and then when we scored that second goal, I grabbed hold of my 7-year-old and I was going mental, because I think, like Dylan said, potentially it could have been a banana skin, though I had total confidence in us. But yeah, I come home, few beers, relax. I haven't heard from my Derby mates, only one of them, bless him, but the others have just blocked me, I think.
Before, like we do, and as well, before the game, there's a lot of Derby fans that were messaging me, giving me all this, but now Forest won. Where are you? You've not even messaged me. So, all you Derby, if you want to message me, feel free. If you want a hug, I'm here for you. So, but right,
they're not having my fiver. They're not having my fiver.
I want some money.
Right, so lots of people, like I've got Dylan, Steve, and the man himself, Lee, as well. But like I said, if you want to talk about the game, put your comments below, and let's talk about the game. Like I said, before I went 2-1, I'm going to start with you, Lee. Like, what's your thoughts on the game? How's you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling amazing. Just one thing before I start, though. Apparently, when I was walking into the turnstile, someone was shouting megaphone man. So if they're watching, I want to apologise because I was not ignoring you. I didn't hear it. My mate told me when we sat down. So if you are watching, I do say sorry. Right, now back on with the game.
He's not sorry. He's not sorry.
I am sorry. I'm a nice guy. You can always approach me for a chat. No problem. Right. Moving on. Currently. I was with Dylan before the game, and he'll back me up on this. I was not nervous. I was confident, and I said to him we'd win. And I knew we had too much for him. And I hope Corey's watching. Corey, I'm looking directly in my camera. Right. Last night you said you'd got a better bench than us. And at the time, I knew you was wrong. And very clearly, you were wrong. Not having a go, I think you're a good guy, but just saying, we've got a stronger first 11. We've got a stronger bench. Just saying. But today, in terms of the game, fantastic. Each to a man. I'm not even going to pick a man of the match because as a team, we played well. I don't know how Samba carried on with the egg on his head. The hematoma, technically. Fantastic. We deserved to win, and the only disappointment was not scoring more. That's it. For me, we played well as a team.
What's your opinion, Dylan?
Yeah, I could say same as Lee. First off, wasn't the best, was it? But you could see for the first 15 minutes that there was the way Derby liked to play from the goal kicks. I was sat with a mate and he was pointing it at the way they were stretching us. But fair play to Cooper. 15 minutes into the game, he made a tactical. He's a tactical genius. He changed it, and Derby. All right, the first half wasn't the best, but they didn't know what to do with us. Do you know what I mean? So, and then obviously the second half, I think there was only one winner after that first goal went in.
Steve, Dave mentioned about the tactical decision. Like I noticed as well, Ryan Yates. I think he played that back three dinner with McKenna and Cook. But then when Yates went to midfield, it completely I didn't say it completely changed the game, but a little bit of adjustments, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I said to my lad after, a bit like what Dylan was saying, after about 15 minutes, I looked at him and I said, the coaches are going to have something here to do today, because you could sense it was like, well, they'll just cancelling each other out. And when Yates went into the middle and he changed it, I always thought Cooper had something better than Rooney anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Rooney was a good player, but as a coach, I think Cooper's streets ahead of him. And that's not me being sour grapes towards Rooney. I think he is. He's a tactical.
It's experience, isn't it?
Yeah, tactical genius. I thought that was always going to be the thing. I will say this. I thought today, when it was half time 0-0, I turned to my lad and I went, we'll win this now. There's only going to be one winner. And he says, why? He says, because Rooney's going to go in and go, keep going, because they're a one-trick pony. They just played the same throughout the whole game. But with Cooper, he got at them. And if you look how we came out, that second half straight away, we got right at them. Johnson was going down them, and I've said all week that, and I said to me Derby mates, we are a better team than what you are. All right, let's not put this around. Though you're the better form team on paper at the time, they were better form team. We are the better team. And you are coming and playing probably one of the best Forest teams you'll come up against or came up against in the last 6 or 7 years. And we can score from anywhere. If Brabham don't score, Johnson will score, Zincolado will score, where you've got one man, Lawrence. If that. Do you know what I mean? And that was it, really. We were better. We're on paper, we were a better team, but we were a better team on the day, personally. That's my opinion anyway.
People say, if there's any questions you want to ask Dylan, Steve and Lee, put in the comments below. You can. As well, if you want to do any special chats, super chats as well, people, like I said, comment us on the channel as well. Lee, I'm sorry with the lineup. Like, there was rumours that Joe Wall wasn't playing. And, like, I think he's out for 6 weeks now. But did you think we missed him? Because, as you know, Joe Wall, he loves playing against Derby, don't he? But I personally think we didn't miss him at all. But what did you thought, Lee?
No. We did miss him in terms of what he gives us. But what I mean by that, it's personally what he gives us as a player. In terms of the team, Yates did a cracking job. He did well, and then they moved him into the middle. So we changed the formation because it wasn't quite working. So I think in one respect we did, because as a 3, obviously he's better than Yates here, and that's no disrespect or not a dig at Yates. Yeah, we did miss him, but as a team we were pretty solid. I didn't see the penalty that they got. I must have blinked and missed it, so I can't say whether it was or it wasn't.
It was. It was.
Was it a penalty?
Yeah. Cook came in and literally just hacked him down.
Did it? No, that's fair enough then. If it's a stone waller, like I thought, Johnno's was unlucky not to be given. But I've always said we're a second half team, and we was today.
It felt like
in the first half. Yeah,
it felt like the Millwall game, because like I said, the first half we wasn't great, and as Steve mentions, the second half we are a second half team, and
we always play better second half.
Second half. But then, like I said, when we moved Ryan Yates into that role, I think I said the first 10-15 minutes we wasn't great. When you're watching the game, like, was it the right choice for Cooper to do? Because like, I think it was overrun by the two. Who was the centre midfielder played for Derby today? I don't know who it was.
Was it
Thompson and someone else? I don't know.
Thompson, like, I think they've done. I'm not saying they bullied Colback and Garner, because I think Garner was fantastic. But I think with Ryan Yates pushing into midfield, we was the better team, weren't we?
Because they loaded the midfield, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which is why we struggled a bit. And then when Yates moved in, it kind of changed things, didn't it? They didn't know what to do, did they?
If you look, I didn't notice this. It was my mate Craig at the side of me, and he was saying the first 10, 15 minutes of that game, where they do their goal kicks, because obviously the goalkeeper doesn't take it, so Davis takes the goal kicks for them, Curtis Davis. But then the way they set up down one side, it literally pulls one of their central midfielders to the side, and it like leaves a gap. Do you know what I mean? So Forest have got basically one player trying to mark two. Do you get what I mean? Down one of the sides. So that's how they started to play.
Like they were doubling up.
Yeah, and it was like my mate said, look, if you look down the side, you can see it. And then all of a sudden, Cooper just went to the flat back four and that disappeared. Do you know what I mean? So obviously that was a tactic from Derby that they were trying to do. But obviously Cooper, being the Super Cooper, actually noticed it straight away and put it right.
Steve, I'm going to mention the defence without Worrell. How do you think like McKenna and Cook played together for the first time?
They were really, really good. I'm a big McKenna fan. I think he's an unsung hero. I think he's probably absolutely brilliant. He's a rock. He wins everything. And I think people need to look at that back four and just say, well, don't forget this lad here. Ben, I've said this many times. I'm going to say it again. I cannot believe the Scottish fans think he's terrible.
He's
fantastic. Watch this guy. It baffles me what they're thinking, because I think he was immense. One of the things I will say, and I've said it to a couple of lads today, I think we'll see Sal. Sal, is it? He'll be on the bench, I think, on Tuesday now. But the other thing, what you go on about Worrell, and you said something about Worrell, I tell you what I liked about Steve Cooper. This is what I liked about Steve Cooper. He come on, I think it was BBC Radio Nottingham, and he says, yeah, Joe Worrell's out 6 weeks. Right, okay, that's a blow. And he went, yeah, it is, but we've got to get on with it, and it's now for someone else to step up and take it. That's what you want.
Yeah, like he said he's out, but it's the next one in. Simple.
Next one in. Just get on with it. We're going to get on with it. He believes in these players. And I think we all do. I agree. It was a bit of a blow when we didn't see him on the team sheet, but the players did well. And I think when you look at Cook and you look at McKenna, I mean, that Cook, I just don't get that. Why Bournemouth let him go?
But it's our game. It's our game. And I think I've mentioned it in other podcasts. I think we need that leader. And being alongside McKenna or Worrell, we've missed that. No disrespect to Figueiredo. I like Figueiredo, but we need a strong player that can play alongside, if it is McKenna or Worrell. Lee, Lowe come back. Colback went to midfield, but I think today, I'm not saying Colback been fantastic left back, but Lowe, he come back. I thought Lowe played great. What do you think?
He came back in like he's not been away. I thought, don't get me wrong, he didn't venture forward like he normally would. I think he was slightly more tentative, but to come back against Derby, one of your former clubs that you spent a long time at, and give the performance he did, because he could have quite easily be overwhelmed with the occasion and everything. I thought he played really well, to be fair. Colback moving in the middle was perfect. The odd thing, obviously, everyone makes the odd mistake, but in general, I just thought we was really good, like in terms of that. And Lowe, I was going to say, like he deserves a pat on the back. I don't know if they do that anymore, but he came in like he'd not been away, and he played really well.
Dylan, we'll talk about Gavin in a minute, but again, I think Davis as well. I know he's still getting match fitness and blah blah blah, but again, another player that can bully centre backs. And I think I think he bullied Davis and who's the other Derby centre back, Stearman. I think he did a good job today. What did you think? As well, people comment, what do you think of Davis? What, Dylan?
Yeah, Davis, mate. This is the thing. There's a few people sat around us going, "Oh, Davis, well, this, that." But like I said to my mate, I says, and we agreed, and it's like Davis is basically been brought in to bully players. Simple, to bully the centre backs. That's what his job is. He's not going to get you 10 goals a season, is it?
Wait 1 minute. There's a Forest legend watching. Forest legend. Shout out to David Johnson.
Go on, Jono.
Yes.
Come on, Jono.
Shout out to Jono. Go on, Dylan, carry on.
All right, mate. I don't mind you cutting me off for the legend. For that legend. Anyway, yeah, Davis. Yeah, Davis, yeah. It's like if people are expecting him to score bag loads of goals, it's not going to happen. He's there to basically bully the centre backs. The way he just brings the ball down and he seems to control it all, and letting Johnson or anyone else around him trying to play that way. I just like the way he plays. He's
there to hold it up, essentially.
Yeah. He's to
take the pressure off.
Yeah, definitely.
Win the ball, lay it off. That's what he's there for. And batter the defender.
And that's what we've missed. Yeah, all right. He went off, and Grabban goes back into the centre. He brings a different dynamic to the game. But this is the point of the whole Forest team. And I like the way Cooper is. And he said on the radio, he says we set up a formation to play a certain way because we thought Derby were going to play a certain way. We realised after 15 minutes they wasn't playing that way. So we switched it because of the formation and the team that we'd already selected. We knew that we could change into another formation straight away. Do you know what I mean? But with Davis, I think the more he plays, the better he gets.
Steve, now let's talk about Grabban. And again, his work rate is second to none. He's 34 years old, and we can talk about his goal. And again, he's proving me wrong. Like I said, I've been critical with him, but yet again, scoring the goal, and it's just non-stopping it from him. Keep scoring, doesn't it?
He's found a new lease of life, hasn't he, under Cooper? And I hope we do offer him at least a year's contract, because I think he deserves it. I know he's 34 years of age. I just want to reiterate and go back to two things. One about Davis. Did anyone see that challenge in about the 44th minute?
Yeah.
Where he'll be, and he just went up in that air, and that I think that Derby defender ended up in the Bridgeford fish and chip shop. You know, he sort of like
that one. Yes.
He went, "What have I just been hit by?" And Davis looked down and went, "Are you all right there, fella?" But one other thing I'm going to say, and we haven't said it. One other thing I'm going to say today, I thought, and
he crashed.
Derby fans took him over.
Steve, I think he's not paying his bill again, is it?
No, but Taylor did well when he came on. He actually won headers and held the ball up. Amazing. We've wanted him to do it all season. Then he came on and did it. Fair play to him, because he keeps going, bless him. So,
yeah.
Sorry, Steve, you crashed that, Steve.
No, I don't know what happened then. Obviously, the wife must be playing with the internet. Yeah, I thought Yates was brilliant. I'm pretty sure I'd have to have a look at it. He got his foot stuck in for that second goal, didn't he? And obviously he got his foot stuck in, and Brennan got the ball. I mean, that second goal was, we talked about that, yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, you got to look at that. Yeah. But I just think, Yates was brilliant today. They all were, really. There weren't a bad player on the Forest pitch today, was there? So, but yeah, Davis, when he hit him, that I saw that, and that Derby lad was like, he's ran into a brick wall, hasn't he?
Yeah, and like what when you're talking about that, Stephen, like ways he does, like you can see. I think he saw the defender come in and thought, yeah, he's not going to bully me. And he bars him, and I've never seen a guy fly so high.
I think he's changed a lot of Derby fans' minds after watching him today. Because when we signed him on the forums I go on, they were all laughing because of his goal ratio. I think they now realise why we've bought him, or not bought him, loaned him, because he just offered something else.
Lee, like we're talking about Forest, but let's talk about a little bit about Derby. Like we don't like they were playing all right before the Forest game. But you mentioned that I think the first half, like the first 30 minutes, it was all right, wasn't there? Like it wasn't causing much problems for the Forest defence. I think they had one chance, didn't they? With Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't know how he missed that. It was about the same place that Grabban scored his, and I suppose that's the difference. But I would have put my mortgage on Lawrence scoring that, to be fair. I'm glad it went wide. I mean, they're a battling side.
Was it poorly? Do you think it was poor?
That he missed it?
No,
yeah.
The team. I think, no, the Derby team. Do you think it was poor?
No. Look, they're a battling side. They are what they are. They're down there, you could say, for a reason. As a side, they're better than where their position suggests. They're not a bad side. Like they'll give it, but I thought they were very one-trick pony today. Once Cooper had worked them out, Rooney didn't really have a backup plan, did he? And that's what turned it, I think, in the second half. As soon as Cooper changed it up with Yates going in the middle, and then obviously whatever he said to him at half time, you know, for me, from the off, there was always going to be one side in it, and for me, it was ours to lose, not theirs to win. It was always on us. So
before I get Dylan, I've got a super chat, and David Johnson here. Brendan Johnson is one of our own, and that's the £4.49. Thank you very much for the £4.49, and I'll give that to Lee for a lime and lemonade when I see him. Is that right, Lee?
Me? I'll stick to my beer. You can have it, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Grant. Much appreciated for that. If people want to do super chats, you can. It's just like it supports my channel and helps me do these kind of things as well and my vlog. So, like I said, Grant, thank you very much. So let's talk about Brennan. I know John's watching this, and again, he took his goal, and you know what? The thing I like that goal is passion as well, running towards the fans, and it was amazing to see. Like I said, we missed that, haven't we, Dylan? Just scoring goals, especially against Derby, but he's getting better and better in Inter.
Definitely. I will be very, very, very surprised if he's still here the 1st of February. Personally, do you know what I mean? Because that the lad's he's just amazing, isn't he? He's just the way he plays. For such a young lad, do you know what I mean? He's only going to get better and better, and the passion, and you can obviously tell he's a Nottingham lad. It's against Derby, but whenever he plays, it's like I was watching. I've seen a few replays backs of his goal and where he's just pounding his chest on the Forest badge. Do you know what I mean? And he said in his interview of Sky, and he said it went too quick. He says, and I lost my head. I just lost my head for a few seconds. But that was just shows you the passion, but it shows you the passion of the whole team, because I think people ran from the bench as well to come and celebrate. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But Jono,
keep him at all costs. Forget the money, because he'll only be worth more in the future. But I think he'll be a much better player if he gets a bit more time with us. Eventually, if he does move, which he will deserve, like there'll be no doubt in my mind, he'll deserve his class. But I think he's only going to get better.
He deserves it. The thing is, every time he's on telly, or every time, it's like I said earlier, he was on Sky. Do you know what I mean? There'd have been a million people probably watched that, or something like that. And you're telling me these top Premiership teams are not watching him and looking at him and just thinking, do you know what? This lad, for how old is he?
20.
For 20. Do you know what I mean? He's got technically another 15 years.
There's no rush for him, let's be honest.
No, they're in. But we all know what finances are in clubs and stuff like that. But do you know what I mean? I hope that I am wrong, and by the 1st of February, and he's still here. Do you know what I mean? Because he will just help the team push forward, and he looks happy where he is.
He could be the difference from playoffs, couldn't he? To not get in the playoffs. He could be, but you don't know what's going to happen, do you? But if he was to go, and I hope he doesn't, but if he was to go, he will be a big miss. But the sky's the limit for the lad.
I don't know if I'm right, but Sam got booked here, didn't he? Right? Is he suspended for the Barnsley game now?
No.
I thought he was.
But he has. Isn't there a cut-off point?
People, I don't know. People in the comments, because when he got booked, I thought that's his 5th booking. But I don't know if
It's got past the 5, hasn't it?
No, he's got. That was his 5th booking today.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I thought there was a cut-off point.
What's he saying? I thought the 5 cut-off points gone.
People in the comments, I don't know. I in my blog, I thought he got booked.
He did 5. He has got 5, but I thought the cut-off point was last year.
The cut-off point in the game. I can't remember what game it was, but Colback got
sent. Around November time.
Did Colback get sent off or something?
Oh, so he can play against Barnsley then?
Yes.
Is he going to play? Is he going to play with that lump on his head?
They'll drain that.
They'll treat that.
That's fluid. That's all that is.
They look like they're drained anyway, but
yeah.
I'm actually like there's 185 people in. Thank you very much for coming on. I much appreciate it as well. Still, like I said, I'm talking about Samba again. What a keeper! Like I said, I love Samba now. Like I said, he is so laid back, really laid back. Like I said, he's like he's smoking weed. And
what with Bong?
Imagine the conversation at half time when he went in with that lump on his head, and Cooper probably would have turned around to him and gone, "Right, you're not going out second off," and he would have gone absolute mental at Cooper and gone, "No, I'm going out. I'm going out."
I'll tell you what.
I like that voice, Dylan.
I'll tell you what, that made me laugh. You know when who got sent off for them? They're number 11. What's his name?
Yeah, I see that.
Ravel Morrison, was it?
Yeah.
He's standing there as if to say, "See ya."
Yeah, with his hands
all the way
behind
up
his
to
back.
the halfway line to go away.
I'll see you in the clubhouse. Bye.
But if you look at the replay, of the sending off, when Samba walks up to him, Morris slaps him.
Oh,
was it?
Have a look, and it looks like he slaps him. He throws his arm out and catches him. But that was after the red card.
No, yeah, I saw that after. No, I seen that full time.
No. This is your. I'll find the clip later and I'll try and send it you. But I'm sure.
Well, they reckon he's going to get into trouble, don't they? Because he in the fracas finishes after the game. Yeah. He comes onto the pitch again. Well, he's sent off.
Yes, Steve, I've seen that. Yeah,
and he was on the pitch of play. So he shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
But both clubs are going to get fined. I mean,
Sydney started that, didn't they? Having to go at Zinkernagel, they just went straight through him at the whistle, didn't they?
Steve,
what did Zink do? That they went for him.
You know, who was it?
It was a challenge, wasn't it?
Sibley went for Zino.
Yeah.
And then Cafu.
Headlock.
Put him back.
Yeah.
It was
like a bouncer.
We're talking about Zigano, like he came off the bench as well, and every single time that he comes off the bench, Lee, he changes the game a little bit, don't it? But the thing, like I said, Cooper, with his substitutions that he's making, it's always positive, isn't it? It's never negative going forward, isn't it?
It's to try and win the game. Whereas I'm going to bring his name up, the person we shouldn't say, but Houghton, the man we shouldn't speak about. But when it was him, if we were losing 1-0, he would make a substitution to defend a 1-0 loss. You know what I mean? Whereas Cooper, he wants to win the game with who he brings on 99% of the time. There's always a reason behind it, isn't there? Sorry, Steve, go on.
You're saying about 5 minutes ago about Brennan Johnson, yeah? Dylan said he thinks he won't be here. If Houghton was still in charge, I think Johnson will go.
Yeah.
It would have gone.
Because Cooper is here, he's becoming a much better player. And I think, is he ready for the Premier League? I don't know. You're playing it, will you? So you can't say that.
Cooper's a forward-thinking manager.
My opinion. Sorry, Dylan. My opinion with John. Like, Brentford made a £15 million for him. I personally don't think Brentford's the right club for him.
No.
Yes, they've got the Premier League money, but I personally think he can play better. He can play for a better team. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it. I want him to go, but like Lee said, if Forest don't make it to the Premiership, someone's going to be calling for him.
I don't think he'll go in January, Ben. I think if he's
the only reason I said I think he will go is because if they get 18 to 20 million for him offered, I'm not being funny, but it doesn't matter who you are. The club is going to look at that, because that is to go to FFP and wants to towards FFP, and it might boost her to get some more players in, some more additions to the end of the year. But that's all. That's the only reason I've said that about Jono.
How much we're going to get for Carvalho? Because he's supposed to be off, isn't it? Like, obviously, we don't know. What are we getting?
Free transfer.
We'll get something, surely.
We'll get some free
business.
We get a few players for him.
But Dore, you're the owner of both clubs, right? Forest are financial fair play. I'm not saying Olympiacos on, because I know they have something similar, but you've got a chance to put some personal, money in, or from Olympiacos in to help the club survive and stay afloat. You're going to put some in if you can purchase a player and make it look legit, aren't you? So that it would put something. I don't know how much. I'm just. But if you look
at it, the EFL at the minute, because of all this scrutiny under Derby, do you really think if Carvalho goes to Olympiacos for what the report suggested, 13 million, that someone out there is not going to red flag it?
Yeah, but
hold on a minute.
For 13 and a half. It's not like we're selling him for 26, is it?
Hold on a minute.
You think his value is 13 and a half now?
Right.
Hold on, Dylan. You say that about the EFL, but no disrespect, mate. If it's all above board, and I don't know. I don't think it's 13 million. I don't think they'd do that, because then I do think it's a red herring. I think if 8 million come in, all right, for the likes of being able to say, the likes of Johnson, Worrell, no, we're not going to sell them in January. I'm not saying we're not going to sell them. I'm saying we're not going to sell them in January. If an offer to give us that chance of getting in the playoffs, all right. If it's all above board and the money is transferred and it's paid and it's the EFL ain't got a leg to stand on.
No, I'm on about
we go back to Derby, their owner, all right, when they went into administration, was blasé and went on BBC Radio Derby and went, I cooked the books, so we didn't get a point deduction last year. Do you know what I mean? So,
did they put the price of players up as well?
We're not doing it. Are we wrong?
No. I'm only on about it. I don't know who told me it was the start of the year that someone told me that Forest had the knuckles wrapped over some dealings between Forest and Olympiacos.
I know what you're saying.
The only thing I'm saying is, if we see Carvalho go from Forest to Olympiacos for silly money, because we all know he hasn't played, right? That's what I'm on about, with the fact of you're going to see the likes of Derby going up to the EFL. Hold on a minute.
But if it's less than what they've paid, how can they moan? Look at Grealish going for 100 million. Was he worth that? No. Yes, we paid 13 and a half, but if we've sold him for less, it's not like we're going, give us 20 million for him. You can't really, there's no argument, is there?
No, but
I've heard it's 8 million.
Right. Right. That's a different subject. When Carvalho leaves...
Yes, Carvalho. Sorry, Ben.
Carvalho leaves, that's a different subject. It will come in on the DoreOnTour channel. That's a different subject, because there's so much things about Carvalho and blah, blah, blah. But yeah. Who am I next? I'm going to talk to you, Steve. And Buchanan played for Derby, and I don't see him better than Lowe. Well, would you take Buchanan from Derby? As a backup.
Right.
People comment. What do you think of Buchanan? I didn't see anything like wow from him today. But what was your opinion?
Where does this Leo play? Does he play right back or left back? The lad from Canada.
Larea,
Yeah,
he plays both.
Larea.
He plays both.
But he's more on the right side. He favours the right side.
The question you've got to ask about that Buchanan thing is, are we going to make Load permanent in the summer? Yes, no? Are we looking at getting him in for that sort of thing? Because he only came back from injury, didn't he? It was quite a surprise today. I thought Jono had him in his pocket, though, didn't he? You know, I thought Jono, second half, you know, he must have thought Lano was coming at him. He's only a kid, though, isn't he? How old is he? 19? Is he 19?
Yeah, about 19, 20, yeah, something like that age. Yeah.
And would I take him? Yeah, I would take him for the right price, because I think the difference is, I know most probably I'm going to get shot here. The difference is he's going to play for a better coach who will make him better. I think this is the difference. You've got a guy here that's, you know, let's look at it. Under Houghton, Grabban we were all saying Grabban was on the verge of going to Dubai, and we're all going to take him to the airport. Now he's he's working brilliant. Yates was a donkey. He couldn't get in the League One team. He's now brilliant, you know. So you can see the difference already with Cooper for me, and I think you get Buchanan in, and I think he would make a difference, because I think the coach would make a difference. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. As well.
If I had a George store, I'd have Lowe over Buchanan all day long.
So would I, mate. So would I.
Yeah, if we had the choice.
I'm just saying. There's a wages issue.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? To get, I think. Well, I don't think you're going to get Spence. We're going to get.
No,
Spence.
it's going to be tough. That tough ass.
No,
the only way we get Spence, the only way, me personally, if we get the only way we get Spence is if we get promoted.
Yes.
Yeah, and
that's the only way.
This is why I'm wondering if Larea, being more right-sided but can play on the left, is Spencer's replacement.
That was earlier.
That what I thought. It's more
same like Jed Wallace. Is he replacing, or Bowler if he comes? Is he replacing? You know what I mean? You've got a thing, don't you?
Cooper's thinking ahead, basically.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting at. Yeah,
because
if already.
If you look at, well, we're talking about Wallace, like Joe Lolly. Joe Lolly's not playing. We're talking about Josh Bowell. He's not playing. He could replace. I don't know if Johnny just go. My turn. He could. Ziganel, he's on loan. There's also can replace him. Mm-hmm. So there's so many players that we've been linked with can replace. But okay, that's a different topic. Let's talk about Cooper and Stephen. I spoke to Lee about this, and Cooper again. He's been fantastic for us, and we can't help him. I love it when he comes to after full time. He goes to all the grounds. He does his little fun, but it's great seeing him. It's great to see.
Me personally, I think Cooper's the best manager since Billy Davis, and we've had. I think he's slightly better than Billy Davis. Actually, I'm going to say that because I think he's getting the best out of the youngsters, where Davis didn't get the best out of youngsters too much.
Well, it was a different time then. It was a different
time.
He wasn't interested in young players, was he, Davis? He went.
No, he wasn't.
Got rid of the reserves and all that, didn't he?
I mean, no disrespect. Billy Davis was running the Forest team today. You wouldn't have the likes of Brennan Johnson playing, I don't think, because I think he'd won. And I'm sorry, that is true. Yeah. But I think there's something special about this club. Everyone goes on about Steve Cooper. I think the CEO, Dane Murphy, brilliant vision, absolute brilliant. You can't take that away from him. He came in, he wanted Cooper. He didn't want anyone else. He wanted Cooper. All right. And within 5 to 6 games, that was the man he wanted. And they've worked together. They turn it around. You listen to Cooper. He just loves being here, don't he? He says he absolutely loves being here. He came that was the first time I saw him come out in the warm up. He's never come out. He's never come out in the warm up, has he? Before when the kicking warming up before, he came out to savour the atmosphere, and then he went back in, didn't he? And then I know normally comes out about 10 minutes before, but I've never seen him on the side of the touchline when they're warming up, when the coaches are doing it. He came out to savor the atmosphere. He was really, he's got us all talking, and all the fans are passionate, ain't they?
They've brought the loving feeling back, haven't they? Let's be honest. That loving feeling, that vibe, we're all in it together. We can see progress, can't we? We can see the direction we're trying to go. Whereas before it was just monotonous. We turn up, we watch a game, and we didn't really know what was happening other than us not doing anything. Now you can see a direction, can't you? That feeling, that vibe's back.
If you look at it,
back.
Yeah, but if you look at it, we're saying about Cooper, yes, but you've got to look at his backroom staff that he's got. Do you know what I mean? He don't do it on his own.
No,
do you know what I mean? He talks to them, and like you say, you've got the CEO involved, and then we've just had a new head of recruitment come in.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, do you know what I mean? Slowly, but surely, do you know what I mean? Cooper is doing something. I'll go back to a couple of weeks ago with Dave Murphy on a podcast, and he said that they've got where we are in the table, they didn't expect with Cooper. So they're going to go for it and see how far they go. But he says if we don't do it this year, we've got next year. Next year is the target. So that's why I look at some of the signings, like you say, Richie Larea coming in. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Wallace coming in, stuff like that, because they're looking at it thinking, well, we've got these players now, like we've got Zinkernagel now, we've got Spence now. Yes, we can make a push, but if we don't do it, then we're already planning and they're all working together for next season. Do you get where I'm coming from?
It feels like we're building something, doesn't it? It's not 100%. Just an empty plan. There's something behind it. We're building.
Dylan, can you just said there about Murphy? One thing I did notice with Murphy, and I don't know whether you've picked it up, he doesn't want to have too many players on loan. He's like this. Lorea's came in, Cook's come in, so they're permanent signings, so they will be here next year, to develop them. And if you look at like the likes of the talk about Jed Wallace, whether we get him or not, I don't know. And Bowler, they're not loans, they're permanents. We seem to be going to try and get the permanent signings in. So when, like you say, if we don't go next year, we get up this year. All right, the plan is for next year. Yeah, we've then got permanent signings, which we ain't going to have this thing. I think they've worked it out pretty quick that all these loans in January have recall clauses back. Yeah, so we don't want that. They're our players. We'll have a couple of loans because that's the way the championship works. But I think that's what they're looking at. They're trying to get these players. And that lad from Brentford who's come in, I mean, he's found some gems, that guy has, hasn't he?
Ollie Watkins, didn't he? He found him.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think that what they're going to try and do is the building for next year. And I think they're going to try and get some players in, permanently, so we're not having all these loans in where we got this time. We get to January, we had that Jed Spence situation. He was going to go back, and this, that, and the other. So it's in our hands, sort of thing, So
I was looking about, and we mentioned Cook, and again, where was it? Drew Red. Cook wanted to leave Bournemouth for 10 years. He said in his final interview, Bournemouth is the right time to move for him. What do you think Bournemouth was wrong to let him go? Because like I said, we've gained a fantastic captain. Lee, like we mentioned, like a captain, he's a captain material from this, but do you think it was a bad mistake for Bournemouth to let him leave?
100%, especially in the Championship, because trying to get out, it's not a walk in the park unless you're someone like Fulham. You know what I mean? That experience is pivotal, isn't it? As we're finding now. Yeah, he made the odd mistake today, didn't he? The odd loose ball or the odd loose pass. But in general, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? And his experience has got him out of situations, hasn't it? Or he's interpreted situations. Someone like that's vital. If they think they've got better. They must have. I'd love to see who they've got at the back now. You know what I mean? To let someone like that go, for us, it's a fantastic signing. You know.
Dylan, Lartey come on as well. What did you think of him when he come on for grabbing?
Yeah, he did his job. I like Lyle Taylor. I just want him to do a bit better. Do you know what I mean? I just want him to
score goals. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but it's like if you look at, let's go to the situation now of the strikers. Yeah, we've got Lyle Taylor. How long's he got left on his contract? Another year?
No, he's got 2 years, hasn't he?
Or 2 years, right? So you say he's our permanent striker. Grabban, we don't know what's happening with him, but hopefully he's going to get a 1 to 2 year deal. But he's old. He's getting on. Now. So he's going to be a bit part player. He's either going to be staying on for 60 minutes, going off, or coming on for the last 20 minutes that way. Davis is on loan, so he's probably going to go back. So now, what's going to happen with the striker situation? We need to bring someone in. We need to like Steve says, we're making permanent signings, but we need to find another goal scorer, because we can't rely on Grabban.
Someone young and hungry. That's what you want.
This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking.
So
but like Taylor, I don't know. I just think if he can be given, but he's not going to start with the way Grabban is, with the way Grabban's scoring, and the way Cooper looks like he wants to play at the minute with Davis up there as well. So, but it's just everything. He's just got to try and get on and try and nick them goals.
There's a player like we mentioned the strikers, and I don't remember the French guy. James, Josh Magia.
Josh Magia.
Yeah.
Do you think Magia could be the man?
They want rid of him, don't they? By all accounts, they want him off the wage.
I saw in the French press.
2-3 million. So do you take the gamble? But have we got that to spare with everyone else?
Played.
Oh,
he's not played then. He's not played.
He's not played.
Forest didn't sign him because he failed a medical, didn't they? He went back and he hadn't played. He's only just come back. But in December, someone said he hadn't played a game.
That's why they want him off, don't they? He hasn't played by all accounts.
Is that why? Because I heard a different story of. Obviously, I've heard the story of he's failed a medical, but I heard a different story. Is supposedly his agent tried to change the deal as he was on his way here, so Forest cut ties with him. But
I thought it was a medical.
Undoubtedly, he's got talent, but what's his attitude like? What's his work rate going to be? How long is it going to take him to get fit? These are all things I suppose you've got to take into account in a season where we need him to hit the ground running, don't we?
Yeah, I'll tell you this now: if Cooper and Murphy don't want him, he's not coming.
No, exactly. I agree with that. They know.
If them two don't want him, they ain't coming. They ain't bringing anyone in.
If you can't trust them now, Steve, who can you trust?
Yeah, you know, them two are running that club at the minute, and you know what? You can't complain. You know, you've got to let them get on with it, because they've took us from bottom to like 4 points off the playoffs. You know, and the club's selling out left, right, and centre. You know, it's mad.
You think we give everybody 7 games head start?
I saw today the form guide. If we had Cooper at the start, we'll be second in the league. We're second league right now. So it's just a shame. Like, and I want to mention it before we do leave, and I'll go through everyone. And like I said, we was bottom of the league with Hooton. It was really poor, but like I said, Cooper's changed everything. Like, we're interacting with fans and all that. But Lee, like, from the start of the season from now, how, like, as a Forest fan, how pleased are you to be a Forest fan right now? Like I said, it was so negative on social media with Putin and Cooper's come in, and it's a different vibe, especially on Twitter, because as a Forest fan, and people agree with me, we have the most toxic fans when it comes to in the bad periods. I know we've not been in Premier League for 24 years, or whatever it is. But Lee, what's it like now? Like the formula now, do you think we are ready for the Premier League? We beat Arsenal. That was a one-off.
Are you ever going to be ready for the Premier League? Unless you get in it and add a few players, you never know, do you?
Exactly.
I would take being a yo-yo side just for the financial stability. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for a bit, like, go up, get the money. If we go down, do a Norwich, go back up. Obviously, over time, you want us to stay there. But I remember, Dor, you used to call me Mr. Negative, if you remember.
Yeah.
Because that's how Houghton got me. It wasn't that I was negative. He drained the life out of me. I used to dread going. The only thing I enjoyed was meeting everyone for a pint before. Now I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to go. Travelling on the tram pisses me off because I just want to be there, having a pint with my mates and talking about the game, looking forward to it. Where before, I'd sit there like this in the ground. You won't get anything out of it. It was just dire. So Cooper and the club, you've got to say the club as well, but just the whole ethos has changed, and I look forward to it now. Whereas before, I dreaded going. I used to look for excuses. I always went, but I just inside I didn't want to go while Houghton was there.
What about you, Steve? How did you feel like the way from Cooper?
I honestly think this, but then I'll go back to the game in August at Derby. First half, I honestly said to my lad at Pride Park, we are going down. That first half at Pride Park, I thought we are going down because we were absolutely this was just pants. It was horrible. Did
you go to Stoke?
I didn't go to Stoke. I was on holiday, thank God. I heard apparently never had a shot on target for 90 odd minutes, and I was hearing the reports from the mate.
Like I'm a positive guy when it comes to Forest. Yeah. That game killed me, literally killed me, and I didn't want to go to watch Forest again. That's how I felt.
Well, I tell you something. I'm quite friendly with Max's dad, Ben, and he said to me, Ben. Yeah, he said to me, it's the only away game he's been to that he sat in his seat for the whole game. Because it was that dross, Stoke game. But getting back to being a Forest fan now, I mean, as you can see, I've been a Forest fan for many years. He's
reaching 80 people. Like,
I get my pension next week. Free bus pass. There's something special happening at this club. All right, whether it's this year, there's something special happening at this club. The way how this club has gone from there, I think the owners have owned up and gone, you know what, we've done this wrong in the past. And I think now you see the manager, the CEO, the fans. I think we all went to the Middlesbrough game, didn't we, when we lost 2-0? Was it the Middlesbrough game?
Yeah.
We were, it was horrible, weren't it? It was toxic. It was... Everything had gone wrong. The keeper made that mistake. We went 1-0 down.
You knew it was coming as well, Steve, didn't you? Even before you got there, you knew it was going to happen.
Fans were shouting at the board. Now, we were going that way. Now we're all going on the same train, ain't we? We're all together. We're all in it together. And I think...
It's so good to see. Like I mentioned, like with Twitter, like under Houghton, it was so bad. Really bad. And I was afraid to say something because if you say something, someone will always come attack you or have an opinion about Forest, and you can say anything now on social media about Forest. But like I said, everyone's on the right path, and we mentioned, are we 4 points from the playoffs?
Yeah,
and it's good to see. And what about you, Dylan? I've not mentioned you, but how are you feeling being a Forest fan as well, Dale?
Do you know what this has got? Like you say, it's got to be the best feeling we've had since probably the Billy Davies time, the first time he come in. But do you know what I mean? Credit, how can I put this? Credit to the club as well as Cooper, because when we all looked at the Houghton, because I went to the Middlesbrough game, I sat with you, Ben, if you remember.
Yeah.
Right, we sat there, and if we'd have predicted of what's going off now and the club coming out and saying basically, we made a mistake. We've got to do it this way. We've got to do it that way. We'd have all sat there going, yeah, whatever. We've heard it all before. Fast forward to now, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, then, we've got the right people in place. We've got the CEO. We've got Cooper. We're getting recruitment teams in. We're doing this. And you're starting to see it. You're starting to see it slowly but surely. And the way they're playing on the pitch, don't forget these players that have been playing now are the same players that started the season, near enough, apart from Cook and Davis. Do you know what I mean? Start of the season, the first 7 games. After that Middlesbrough game, if we'd have turned around and said, we'll be 4 points off the playoffs towards the end of January, we'd have gone, what, with these players? No chance. Because we was ready to cut them out.
Remember, Houghton said we can't play attacking football with these players. Remember?
Exactly.
Really?
Sorry, I was wondering. There's a nice positive. I like to see this. This is from Chris. Great show, lads. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate the passion and the great information. One of the most exciting times in my 40 years of supporting Forest from the States. Thank you very much, Chris, for watching this. I much appreciate for doing that. But yeah, it's like I said, if people want to come on my show, just message me on Instagram or Twitter, and we can just talk about Forest. It's good to talk about Forest. It's so positive. Like I said, the first 6 games of Houghton, it drained me. And as Dylan mentioned, the Middlesbrough game, I remember it was behind me, and it was depressing. And I mentioned the Stoke game as well. The Stoke game killed me, literally killed me. If you mention my vlog, you can watch my vlog for me. And that game really killed me. But now, as a Forest fan, I don't want to be ahead of myself. It's good to see we're making right paths, right steps as well, and it's just good. I'm going to go around the group and say who was your man of match. When people, who was your man of match for today? I'll start with you, Lee. Who was your man of match for today?
Me.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I can't pick one. And I'll tell you why. Because I thought each to a man, they were fantastic. Like, as a team, they played. They wanted it. Even when Derby had that bit of pressure, they all together played as a team, didn't they? I've not got one. I thought they all played well. I know Garner got it, didn't he? But
yeah,
obviously, Johnson played well. He scored that goal. Second half, he was fantastic. Spence, his normal self. McKenna, the unsung hero. You know, Yates, when he went into midfield, he was great. Lowe, for me, Lowe. If I'm going to pick one, I thought Lowe had a brilliant game when he came back. You know what I mean? You could pick each and every one of them for why they've done it. You know? So,
Dylan?
Do you know what? I've got to agree with Lee. Do you know what I mean? You can't just pick one person out, but they all did the individual stuff. Do you know what I mean? You could pick out Johnson. You could say Spence. You could even say Samba for the way he is. Do you know what I mean? Garner got it for the sponsor man of the match, but Johnson got it for Sky Sports. Do you know what I mean? I think that second half, everyone was man of the match, for my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Last but not least, Steve, who was yours? Please don't say all of it was.
I'll tell you who I'm going to go for. I totally agree with what the lads have said. They weren't a bad player on Forest team today. You know, you couldn't say he didn't have a poor game. I'm going to go for this one guy because I think it just made the difference. And it was the best goal I've seen for a long time, Jono. It was just absolute brilliant. That pass to Zinc. And what people don't really realise is he's passed that in, I don't know if it's in our half or just in their half. And he's got on the end of it to stick it in the back of the net. And don't forget, no disrespect, 10 or 15 minutes before, Davis had the chance to make it 2-0. We needed that second goal.
Yeah.
And that second goal, the Jono's, was brilliant. And if you watch that again, the noise when that goal goes in from Jono, the roofs are coming off. One of my mates, who was in the he's a mate, he sports Derby, obviously. Sorry, he texted me, and he said that went through us like no business. That noise, he says, it absolutely ripped through us when that second goal went in. He says he hasn't been in a stadium like that for a long time. So I'd give it to Jono personally today. But the other 10, Samba, because he got under their skin, and I love that. I love that he's a goalkeeper, you know.
Best in the league. Best in the league he is.
Oh, 100%. Was he screaming today? Someone asked me today. They went, it was done screaming when you scored the goal because he squeals, doesn't it? I went, probably. I haven't seen him today.
The vlog's coming out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So people subscribe if you're new. But yeah, I did a little scream. I'll say the person I'll say Gardner. He was fantastic for me, if I'm honest. Like I said, you mentioned all of them was fantastic. But play that for me was Gardner. You can say like Jono, Spence. Yates was good, but it wasn't like fantastic as he has been for other games. But I'll say I've gone for me. Like he was for me he was great. But, yeah. Before we go, Lee, I spoke to Lee previously about his job as well, Lee. But Lee, before we do go, Lee's struggled with his business as well. So Lee, just talk about your business. It's really important.
Yeah, my business. Well, my second passion is kickboxing. I'm a kickboxing instructor. It's what I do for a living. Obviously, Forest is my passion as well. I do it for a living. We were going really well before the pandemic. The pandemic's hit, and obviously the business is struggling. So, just obviously, I'm just it sounds sad, but I'm appealing to people if they do want to come down, support the clubs, like have a free lesson, see if they want to take it up. You know, they're more than welcome to come down. Again, I'll just hold it up. That's my number. If you want to take me, that's my club. Golden Gloves Kickboxing. That's who we are. We're on the internet.
Lee, the link's below, so don't worry about
it. Okay, sorry.
If you want to do what Lee's like, just kickboxing, the link is below. So if you want to get in contact with Lee, whereabouts is it, Lee? Tell me whereabouts it is.
I'm all over Nottingham. Obviously, hopefully, if things pick up, we're gonna go to more locations through Nottingham and the rest of the country. Hopefully, that's sort of the plan. But at the minute, I'm in Bestwood, I'm in Bulwell, I'm in Kimberley, Long Eaton, Chilwell, Loughborough. Hopefully, we'll spread some more. So
people, I think the link's below. Please go support me. Like what I'm really, there's quite a lot of companies have been asking me to support them. So in the future, in vlogs, you might see me promoting people's local companies. I like to promote people's. You saw me promote Des's YouTube channel. You saw me promote Matt's as well. Matt's made me this as well from Wolf Gallery. And as if anyone out there that want to come on my channel, who's a Forest fan, come on my channel, talk about Forest and talk about their company as well. And like I said, people go and support Lee. Like I said, the link is below, so please don't you can message me on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever channels is on.
People want to message me, inbox me, it's fine. Facebook, Twitter, anyway, it's fine.
The link is below, so please go and support Lee. But yes, people, it's been a pleasure. The hour is up. Lee, Stephen, and Dylan, it's been a great day. It's been
Cheers, Darby.
My vlog's out 10 o'clock in the morning. I am editing now, but it's been a pleasure. 203 people has come and watched this. Like I said, it's been fantastic as well. You owe me that $5, Dylan.
What do I owe you at $5 for?
I don't know, for sake for coming on the channel.
Hey Ben, I've got one question for you. Ben, one question for us all here.
Okay.
Are Derby going to survive?
Wait. Quick question. Right, people, in the comments, what Stephen said.
I think they'll spawn it. I hate to say it.
I think they'll do it. I think
they'll
go
down. Let me
say something.
They're going to spawn it.
I spoke to Lisa Thursday. I spoke to Corey Friday. And this is me being honest. I'm not trying to dodge everything. When the fixtures come out, who's the first one we look at?
Derby.
Fulham.
That's the first what? That's the first thing we look at. Do I want them to get relegated? Yes. I want them to get relegated. I don't want them to liquidate. I want them to suffer.
Yeah.
I want them to suffer.
I want them to see what League One's about and taste it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want them to liquidate. I want them to get relegated. Is that a good answer, Stephen? Steve.
I actually, what I was trying to say.
It's asking if you think they will or not.
Will they survive as a club? Because apparently this bid they've had in 28 million is not as kosher as it sounds, does it? Apparently they're gonna.
Stephen, I'm not gonna say much. I was with the BBC on Friday.
Last night.
Yeah.
It's
with
not
your trophy.
With the trophy. It's not as kosher as it is.
I've heard that as well.
But do you know what? Sorry, Ben. Do you know what made me laugh when I watched you on the news yesterday? Was when they started talking to them Derby fans and they were getting so happy. They were like, "Oh yes, we've got another bid." And I'm thinking, and I text all the lads and I went, "How many times do these lot need to get a bid and get so excited about it? Why don't they just sit there and go, I'll believe it when I see it?" Because one of my mates went, "I'll believe that when I see it." And they get so excited. They're like, "Oh my God." Oh, all right.
I want them to sell a few more players so they go down, but then obviously get that owner. That's what I want. I want them down.
They'll get an owner.
But survive so we can take the piss out of them. You know what I mean?
So that's my answer, Steve. That's my answer. I want them to suffer. I
think it's like that. I think this is. I agree what you say, Ben. It's this bid is not as kosher as what everyone.
It is.
It's not.
Is that the Americans, Steve? Is that the Americans?
Yeah, it's something like well, I mean, 28 million. The tax bill's 30 million. So
because they've said, I've heard they said they're going to clear all the debts. They've got the money to meet what they've asked for, and then to clear the debts. That's what I heard. I don't know. Like you say, you know more than me.
You think about it, right? They're going to pay 20. They're going to pay 28 million pound for a club. Then they've got to pay at least 30 odd million pound for a tax bill. Then they've got to pay. What else they've got to pay?
The creditors, the loans that they've got.
Yeah, the creditors.
Then they don't own the stadium.
Yeah,
there's not a lot going for them, is there? Whoever takes it.
So you're looking at 100 million at least.
Easy. And it's climbing because the administrators, they're calling them. Derby fans are slagging them off, saying they're doing a crap job. No, they're doing a correct job. They're just doing that. They're going, thank you. Yeah, come on, keep paying. We'll delay this. We'll get some more. They're not stupid. That's why they do what they do.
That's why I spoke to Lisa on Thursday. What she was saying, she's more cheesed off with the administration people because they're not doing a good job.
In their mind,
this is what I don't agree. Right? Is Forest have put a bid in? Is it a 1.2 to 1.5 million pound bid for Buchanan? Yeah, but they turn that down. But then sell a player a week later. They go, oh, we don't want to sell our best players, but then sell a player who was one of their first team players for 30 grand.
Dylan, it wasn't 30 grand.
That, Dylan.
It wasn't 30
grand. It was less.
Whoa, I'm not.
Turns out to be less. I will pay 250 for Buchanan now. I really won't. I don't rate him.
But
Dylan, can I just say something quickly? You know, you go on about this thing about Buchanan, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
I got told that the players were saying to the administrators, we ain't going, yeah? So don't sell us, because if you go under, that 1.5 million that goes to the club, they're out of their contracts. They can just walk into anyone. Give me the 1.5 million. I'll have it in my back pocket. Now, you imagine if you're at work, us four all at work, and we knew our company was going bust, and someone said, well, I need to sell you to go to your competitor so I can get 1.5 million. And they go, well, in a minute, if you go bust, I can walk there. They'll give me $1.5 million. It's not rocket science, is it?
No.
That is true. I never thought of it like that.
The agent, these agents ain't stupid. It's
That's
like
why they get paid the big bucks.
You know, so
right.
I just think they'll survive.
Oh, I'll be your agent. We can sort it.
Right, people will get going. It's been another great show. It's been a fantastic day. Lee, Steve, and Dylan, thank you very much for taking your time to come out as well. The 184 people that are still here, thank you very much for taking your time again to come on the channel. I do respect everyone that's come on. The vlog's out on tomorrow morning 10. The next preview show will be Monday 9 o'clock with a Barnsley fan, my good friend as well. Will be on. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone.
Is it the one that called us Nottingham Forest last time?
Nottingham Forest.
I pulled him up on it.
No. This is what he does. He's a good friend. He's doing this. This is what he's doing to me. This is what.
Have a word.
I have a word with him. He does it all the time. But he's
Doncaster or Sheffield or something.
I'm not going to give. He knows what I'm talking about. He's a really good friend of mine, but he does it to wind me up. That's what that's all.
Small town in Sheffield or some shit like that.
The previous show will be Monday, and as I said, Forest playing Barnsley on Tuesday. But like I said, people, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, if you're new to my channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. And like I said, it's been a fantastic day. And last but not least, all of you lads, up the Forest, and we'll see you soon. Up the Reds!
You Reds!